my jokes were bad. No. It's just like, man, it's so funny how Heath Ledger's Joker was so fucking right about this world. This whole world, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the last sign of trouble. I remember when he used to say that. You know what I mean? And then remember when he used to talk about like how soldiers get all blown up because it's all part of the plan. He's right. He's right. You can't fucking deny the intelligence that Heath Ledger's Joker had about this fucking world. And how fucked up it is. And how it's a bad joke. Dropped at the last sign of trouble. It's almost fucking poetic with how he put it. Because it's so fucking true. This existence, these civilized people, they'll eat each other. And that's exactly what's fucking happening. You know what I mean? And just like fucking Arthur Fleck's Joker, have you seen what it's like out there, Murray? It's a fucking jungle. You know what I mean? It's literally a fucking jungle. You know, and then people depicted him in the comic books as the crazy one. When in reality, he's the one that fucking seen the truth on what this world really is. You know what I mean? That's basically the whole ideology behind the Joker. Is like, this world can drive you in fucking sane. You know what I mean? It can drive you in fucking sane. And that's the point. That's the point. There's nothing about this world that's civilized and fucking in order. There's nothing about it. If it were, then shit would make sense. Like 1 and 1 is 2. You know what I mean? It's just so funny to me. You know, pun intended, because we're talking about the Joker. It's so fucking funny to me that this world claims to be civilized, but we act like the most animalistic motherfuckers that you've ever seen on this side of the cosmos. We are the most fucking deranged, animalistic, primitive, ridiculous, scheming, lying, snake-bellied, spotty-lit motherfuckers that you'd ever know on the face of this fucking cosmos. Like, all this existence is just one bad fucking joke. That's all it is. It's just a bad fucking joke. And honestly, if there is a heaven, I'll never forget this existence. I'll never forget this level of existence. I'll be in heaven. Garrett, what? You look like you've seen a ghost. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that fucking life we had down there. Yeah. I'll never forget this existence. For as long as I live. Whether I'm killed, assassinated, whether I commit suicide because I'm sick of it one day, or whether I just get killed because of war, or because this world just goes to shit. I'm always going to be looking down, remembering this shitty time on this planet. And I will never forget it for the rest of my life. Or for the rest of my existence. Of eternal existence, if there is any. If there is any eternal essence of my bodily fluids to go anywhere into heaven, I will never forget the existence of being this fucking pathetic, derivative, fucking, immovable life of existence. This lie of God-given right that's been ripped from your soul. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I'll spend eternity never forgetting this. I don't care how good heaven is. Even though it's the best thing in the world, I'm sure. It's just like, man, I'll never forget my time here. And how much it did not make sense. I mean, maybe if Jesus Christ himself can explain why, and I'll get my clarity in heaven, okay. But it's just like, man, this fucking world, I never seen anything like it. If there isn't a heaven, I never seen anything like it. You know, a place where you believe in peaceful religion, but you get executed. You get your fucking head chopped off. A place where you don't even know if you have retirement for a fucking job. A place where your job doesn't even know if they can even afford you or not. I'll never fucking forget this existence. Ever. Ever. Where you can't even start a fucking family. Where you can't even have friends. where you can't even trust those said friends, where you can't even have girlfriends, where you can't even trust those said girlfriends. You know what I mean? Where you can't even trust your goddamn wife. You can't even trust your goddamn spouse. This life is just ridiculous, man. It is a bad joke. It is a really bad joke. I'll never forget it here. I'll never forget my time here. And how much of a fucking Ponzi scheme it was to just be human. To just exist. I'll never forget it. I don't know how anybody would. I don't know how anybody says this life has any potential of greatness. I don't know how anybody has that ideology. I don't. I really fucking don't. For years now, I've tried to live in joy. I tried so hard I became delusional. You know what I mean? And it's like, this ain't no suicide thing. Like, I'm not suicidal. It's just the fucking point of, like, this life is short. So maybe you're even killing yourself if you're not even trying hard enough in life. You can live through life, but if you don't do anything with it because you can't, aren't you technically killing yourself? But you just have a pumping heart? I don't get it. I really fucking don't, man. The past 27 years I've been on this fucking spinning rock, I had nothing but deranged fucking people around me. Except family. This fucking spinning rock has no fucking relevancy at all. If there's no God, if there's no heaven, what's the fucking point of any of it? You know what I mean? What's the point? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's where I agree with the Joker, man. This life, it's a bad fucking joke. Dropped at the last sign of trouble. And everything that you believed as a kid, wrong, doesn't exist, non-existent, right? Because it's all fairy tale, right? So it's like, there's nothing good in this world, it seems like, man, except God and the truth. That's all you got at the end of the day. And people even tried to do away with that. You know, here you had Jesus Christ. He lived the most perfect life. He was sinless. He was a good teacher. He was this, he was that. He was a good philosopher. Then what happened to him? They fucking mutilated the guy. That's what I'm saying, man. This world is a bad joke. It's a terrible one. It's the worst I've ever fucking heard in my life. It's the worst I ever fucking heard in my life. The amount of bullshit that just ensues. The amount of bullshit that just commences out of nowhere. It'll land on your front doorstep. It's unfathomably ridiculous to me. It's a bad joke. And it stinks like shit. You know what I mean? The world profits off the depressed person. They profit off of it. Know that. Know that. Whether it be through their medication, whether it be through their issues, through therapy, whether it be through anything. They take advantage of that. That's just the way this fucking world works. It damages you to no end, then it reaps the benefits off of those damages. Those said damages. In a way, they crucify you. Just like fucking Christ. In a way. They fucking crucify you. This life is a bad fucking joke. So much so that God had to invent a whole different plane. Without pain. Without problems. Without suffering. Without misery. Without poverty. Without scheming. Without manipulation. Without fucking wrath. Without fucking pestilence. Without bullshit. Without all of it. Without demons. That exists. It exists. It's a state of mind. But they just don't want you to believe that because they want you to fucking suffer. Then they want you to go down to the fucking bottomless pit. aka hell. You know, they want you to fucking rot because you've been rotting in the fucking physical world. You know what I mean? This is just the way the world works. They rape your kids, they take your money, they lie in your face, they play in your face, and then they fucking rob you blind. It's a fucking sad fucking world, man. It really is. And like I said, I'll never forget it. I'll never fucking forget it. No matter how long I exist in eternity, I will never forget this fucking plane of existence. I will never. I will never. If there's any type of frequency inside of me that's gonna last for any fucking centuries and centuries on in eternity, it'll always remember that this fucking world was nothing but a bunch of fucking lies and a bunch of fucking hurt and pain and misery and selfishness. Like, even me, there's nothing all good in me either. You know what I mean? I'm not all good, but I try to be. I want to be fully good. You know what I mean? And to be fully good is to be with God, as it were, metaphorically speaking here. You know, I want to be all good eventually in my life. Whether I'm dead, per se, in the physical existence, and I'm saying, like, once I age enough to where I pass away from natural causes, I want to be fully good. I want to be fully restored. Remember what Kurt Cobain used to say? When you're human, you feel like you're dirty. I remember him saying that. He said it feels dirty to be human. That's what I want to be cleansed. I feel like death is the ultimate cleanse. Even 6ix9ine, or no, not 6ix9ine. What's his name? That rapper. No, not fucking Tekashi. That's 6ix9ine. That one rapper, he said death is completion. His name escapes me at the moment. But death is completion. It's cleansing. It's purification. It's repentance. 100%. But you can't take your own life. You got to go through it. Because that's what makes it worth it. But like I said, I want to be fully good. When I pass away from natural causes, I want to be fully restored. I want to become the concept of good. I don't want to become the concept of evil. And I'll do anything by any means to get there. It doesn't matter if you're rich. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter. I remember this one pastor used to say it. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to fucking bleed for it. It's already been paid for you on the cross. The moment that he sacrificed himself, he said it's been done. It has been done. That means something to me. That really means something to me spiritually. And that's why I'm still here today. Because this world will crucify you. But remember, it crucified him first. You know what I mean? It fucked him over first. And he was the concept of good. He was the collective of good. He was the definition of good. And what does good do? Good creates. Good is intelligent. Good doesn't have to lie. Good doesn't have pride. Good doesn't fuck you over when times get tough. Good doesn't manipulate or deceive. You know what I mean? Or react. Like, the concept of good is this frequency that's in on its own thing. You know what I mean? So it's like when that rapper said that death is completion, he's right. But what matters the most is how are you going to complete yourself? You know? How are you going to complete the being? Is it through evil? Or is it through good? You know what I mean? And call me crazy, call me a psychopath, call me nuts. But there's one thing about me that I'm not. And I'm not fucking evil. That's one thing about me. I may be crazy, I may be fucking deranged. But guess what? This world made me that way. It made me that way. I wasn't always this way. It made me this way. This life is a bad fucking joke. You know, and I'm still learning to be better. I have a swamp mouth. I have a fucking there's a lot about me that I need to work on, but overall I don't want to be necessarily all evil. Like half of these people on this planet. And I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else either. I'm just saying, man, I feel like it's disgusting in this human existence because you're constantly living in the tree of good and evil. And it's just disgusting to look at. It's disgusting. Life never used to be this way at one point. At one point, it actually made sense on Earth. There was heaven on Earth at one point. But then somewhere along the line, we fucking opened the door to fucking hell. And then all of a sudden, all fucking hell broke loose. As it were. But before, there used to be heaven on Earth. There used to be. There used to be. Call me crazy, call me demented, call me this, call me... I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. At one point, there was heaven on Earth. There was heaven on Earth. Until motherfuckers got greedy, stingy, manipulative, swamp belly, snake belly ass motherfuckers. And then they fucking turned the world inside out. And now this is the world you're looking at today. They're fucking bastards, man. They're a bunch of manipulative, spoiled pricks. And they can kiss my ass. Honestly, I've always had a hatred of evil. I've always had this genuine hatred of what evil is. Every concept of it, every pathway of it, I never liked it. So if there's any way to destroy it internally, eternally, I'll be on the side of that. And if that's God, then so fucking be it. Fuck this world. Fuck these fucking demons that are crawling around and claim to be humans. Fuck them. You know what I mean? I'm so sick of this goddamn world acting like it's good when it's really not. It's not all good. Yeah, maybe good things come from it, like the people and the concepts and stuff, but that doesn't come from this world, if you notice. That's why every good person you see, they want to fucking kill themselves, because they weren't supposed to be here. They don't want to be here, because they were somewhere else. They were somewhere else, but then they got sucked into this fucking world. That's why. Then their souls get corrupted, then they kill themselves, they destroy themselves. It's not right, it's not fair, but this is what this plane of existence does to you. That's why you gotta complete life, you gotta go through life, you can't quit, you gotta go through it. So then this way you can go back to where you were. You can purify yourself. And then you go to the ultimate heaven forever. You know? And maybe somewhere up there I will find peace. You know what I mean? Maybe somewhere up there I do find peace and fucking quiet. But not now. In this brain constantly, there's always noise. There's always judgment on this fucking world because it's so evil. In this brain, there's always constant thoughts going through it. And not good ones, because the shit that I see in this world is fucking disgusting. It's fucking genuinely disgusting. Like, honestly, eternally, I'm a germaphobe. In the soul to this fucking world. I became a fucking germaphobe. I became eternally germophobic to this fucking world and the concept that it has. Because it doesn't make sense, it robs you blind of everything you got, and it takes advantage of you. So that's my overall opinions on this, how fucked up this world is, you guys. But yeah, this fucking world is some bullshit, man. It ruins everything in its path, and it corrupts everything that it touches. So, I'll see you in the next one.